This podcast is brought to you by Fahrenheit Fight Gear, bringing you the heat when the heat is needed. Check out Fahrenheit Fight Gear at ffightgear.com, where they have all the apparel and gear that you need to fuel the fire inside you. And make sure you follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Fahrenheit Fight Gear, coming at you hot. Steve Domenico in the Room podcast with Christos what is it? Delos? Papadelos. I screwed that up like 7 times before I had him come on live.
I know. How many times did we practice that?
At least a dozen in the last like 30 seconds. But, I can't even say my last name right. Never mind your last name, Christos. But anyway, welcome to the show again, my friend. Last time I had you were in here with Mr. Connor Berry. But we're here to talk about you and just you because you've got something really exciting happening Saturday. Let's talk about what's going on, buddy.
Yeah, man. So I got an opportunity to fly out to Vegas and compete in a tournament that, to have a cash prize. And honestly, it's more money than I could make having an amateur fight in basically any promotion in the country. I mean, tell me one amateur fighter that can make up to $5,000 in one night fighting. I'm the only competitor, youngest competitor and lowest belt, and I'm the only one that stepped in for the 55-pound bracket, 75-pound bracket, paid their fees for both, and I'm just ready to fucking go, man. Like I just want to fight everyone. Hopefully have 8 fights that day, and take home $5,000.
8 fights. Now you mentioned you paid both fees. What's a fee? What's one entry fee?
So it's there's a 55-pound bracket, 75-pound bracket. Then they're 16-man brackets. So the buy-in was $200 a bracket. And they said they need, like, I had already paid in for my 55 one, and they were advertising like, oh, we need a few more people for 75. I'm like, why can't I hop in? And they were like, yeah, we're cool with that. Just send another buy-in. So I did, and here we are. It's $2,000 if you win the division, and it's $25 if you sub everyone in regulation.
What do you think your chances are here, my friend? I heard you are the lowest belt in the competition, or what? Explain to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, belts are kind of like bullshit now. You see like blue belts tapping out black belts like every single tournament. They're basically useless. Especially for no gi. I mean, even for gi, it's like there's so many black belts. I'm not saying like all black belts are shitty. Obviously, that's not the case. But like you see so many black belts that just either don't train or like just don't give a fuck. And you have like, a 16, 17, 18-year-old blue belt killer. Of course, they're going to fucking wreck them. Like belts just don't even really matter anymore. But I just think it's like a nice little fun fact that, I'm the lowest rank. And I'm the youngest, which is pretty cool. I honestly probably have like the least amount of time under my belt as well, but I think I think the way my brain works and the way I learn it, it's just nice that like I'm able to learn so quickly. And I have some great teachers right now that I'm learning from. Placido Santos has been basically like my no-gi coach for the past like month or two. If you don't know who he is, he's one of John Donaher's students out in New York that lives in Mass. And he's just an absolute killer, man. Like all my no-gi stuff is coming from him right now. I'm just blessed to be around like good guys. Henzo Gracie, New Hampshire, Kevin Landry. He's been like unbelievable coaching me recently, past few months. It's been a really good time for me, and of just like getting good people around me, and yeah, man, I'm learning faster and like just more efficiently than ever. It's fucking scary.
Well, I know you've been rolling a lot. I mean, I've seen you in a few tournaments already. Let's talk about the progression there, because we had COVID and you were still training during that, but there was no open competition. How was your training then? And how'd you feel when you came out and everything open? Was the body right back into it, or did it take some getting used to it again to get into that live action?
Yeah, honestly, man, like it felt like I competed the weekend before. That first tournament coming back, obviously very exciting just to be in that like vibe again. And it was the first time that, so I had moved to up to Henzo's in New Hampshire, probably like, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks before that tournament. I made the switch and started training up there with Kevin. And it was something like I've never experienced before, because as a team, we legit had like 20 people competing that day. So every time I was stepping on the mat, there were legit like 15 to 20 people just around my mat, like cheering me on, which I've never felt before. I mean, the gym I was at before, we had some solid people who like to compete. It's just totally different atmosphere. Like everyone at Henzo's is there to become a good competitor. Every single one, and we're all trying to help each other do that. So it makes it really easy when you have a good group of people around you like that have common goals. It makes it easy to just go and perform.
Excellent. I got some of your video playing right now. The first clip was against Johnny Cupcakes. The little story. I mean, you had Johnny on your podcast, which we'll talk a little bit about later. And you got him to get into a competition not too soon after, and you guys went against each other. How the hell was that? You had him on a guest as a podcast. Johnny is killing people in the MMA world, and we know he's no slouch on the mat there, man. How'd you get together with Johnny, not only in the podcast, but also rolling on the mat?
It was pretty crazy. So, like you said, I had him on the podcast. I just reached out to him. I never met him before. I just knew of him, like, from obviously, everyone knows who Johnny is, and I knew like about him, what other people have told me. So I never met him personally. And I hit him up and he came through. We did the podcast, a really good guy. And if you go back and like listen to that episode, I say to him, I'm like, oh, I'm doing a tournament next week. And he's like, oh, you're doing a tournament? Like, where's there a tournament? I'm like, oh, up in New Hampshire. Like, you should come through. And he's like, you know what, maybe I will. And so I signed up for the 170-pound division. I was like 155, but I was like right there, like 155, 156, 57. So I was like, fuck cutting any weight. Like, I don't care. There was like one guy at 55 anyway signed up, and like 2 at 70. So I was like, fuck that. I'm going to put 70, and it's whatever. They're going to merge us anyway. And apparently, like, the one guy at 70, they moved like to the 85-pound bracket, and I weighed in at 55. So they were like, okay, you're not even 170. And and I guess the other guy at 55 didn't show or didn't come. Like, I don't know what happened, but Johnny weighed in at 45 or 55. I think it was 45. And then this other guy, Sean Costello, at 35, and there was no one for him to fight either. So they put him in a bracket with me, and then put me and Johnny in a separate bracket. So I went 2 out of 3 with both of them. And it was cool. Like, I saw Johnny compete in the gi, and I was like, holy shit, like, that's sick. Like, most MMA guys are not coming out and doing jiu-jitsu tournaments. Never mind hopping in the gi. He didn't win his gi matches, but like, he looked tough, man. I know how experienced he is, so I wasn't taking him lightly by any means, even though I knew I was doing more jiu-jitsu. But as soon as we came out, I I had one match with Sean Costello, the other bracket. I won with the heel hook in like 20 seconds, and then my plan was pretty similar to the match. My first match, I just wanted to harass his legs, and he gave me a really good opportunity. I pulled guard pretty quickly, and then he left his head hanging like way in front of like the line of his head was way in front of his hips, and it gave me a good opportunity to snatch a quick guillotine. And ironically, it's like the fastest sub I've ever gotten in a competition. So to have that had happened like against him was like such a fucking honor. Him being like such a legend, especially in the local scene. The guy's had like 35 pro fights. Like, is there a guy around here besides like Jay Ellis who's had more fights than Johnny? And it's actually good. Like, there's not many. You know?
Exactly.
So it was an honor, man.
Excellent. And it's not only Johnny's been like, grappling a lot of these fighters to death too, just grinding them. I mean, and you know what's funny is he had a grappling match with Richie Santiago in between them fights too, and he ended up submitting Richie at the end of the time limit. But man, kudos to you, brother. But like you said, that's your game. You know what I mean? 100% against jiu-jitsu. And you talked about belts and all this, and you talked about the tournament you'll be entering Saturday. That, belts really don't mean much. You get these young kids that are like, they're watching that EBI stuff. They're learning all them tricks. They're playing with the legs or the way you say it. So, man, you guys are coming out full throttle, like just leaps and bounds. The new generation of these jiu-jitsu kids. What do you attribute that to? Is it just the growth and the knowledge out there that at your fingertips, social media, YouTube, just stuff there for you to study?
Yeah, I mean, jiu-jitsu has come such a long way from where it was even just 5 years ago. Mainly, I want to say like probably 95% of it is branching off like what John Donaher has done for the sport. I mean, you look at what his students have done, like Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, Craig Jones, guys like that, Gordon's brother, Nicky Ryan, like they're coming out and just destroying everybody with a fraction amount of training time. Like Gordon's coming out, he was beating black belts that have been black belts for like 20 years after like 5 years of training. That's never been done before, and that caught a lot of attention. And then people started really seeing like what John was doing with, there's like really good moves out there, but before John there weren't any systems. Eddie Bravo was like kind of on that track with his 10 planet system, but John has all these systems that he's putting out DVDs and like, everyone's putting out instructionals now and learning these systems. I mean, you could literally go drop $150 and like learn all these incredible techniques that like in this whole system that, has never been seen before. So there's just so much more knowledge out there now, and there's more opportunities for guys to make money, and, where those opportunities are, the information is going to get in more people's hands. And, it's not like it was like, 20, 30 years ago. Back in the day, like, you had a good move, you didn't fucking show anybody. And now it's like, that's a good entry. How about this one? And then you just trade back and forth like 5 times with a good friend of yours. And by the time you know it, you leave your session, you learn like 6 or 7 brand new leg lock entries that are fucking nasty. And it's just a different time, man. Like, guys are getting so good so fast. And people thought it was hard to keep up before and climb to the top. Like, now it's just about to be 10 times harder because everyone's getting so much better, so much faster.
Now, BJJ wasn't your first combat sport, was it? What would you get into first, and how early did you start?
So I started Taekwondo when I was 11, and I got really fucking lucky, man. I fell on a really good Taekwondo coach, Master Michael O'Malley. He, for those who don't know who he is, he's Joe Rogan's Taekwondo coach.
Oh, great.
So, yeah. So he was teaching him back in J.H. Kim Taekwondo school back in the day in Boston. But he's like super tied in. Like his instructor learned from the guy who like founded Taekwondo. So, I came from a good place there. I got, my kicks to a pretty good level. And we're just learning like true Taekwondo, where it came from. So it was good, man. Like, I'm glad I had the time that I did there. I was teaching for a little bit once I got my black belt. And I knew like I wanted to do more. I knew jiu-jitsu existed. I knew like judo existed. I knew like grappling arts existed, and we would like mess around in the school all the time and do grappling, but it was just like a bunch of bullshit that like we try to think of. Like, we didn't know anything. And we were just like, oh, this really hurts when you crank it. Like, that might work. Like, just stupid shit. I don't know how we didn't like tear everything in our body. But I saw McGregor fight Dennis Seaver, and I saw him just kick the shit out of him, and I was like, oh, he's using Taekwondo. Like, I know how to do that. I just got to learn that jiu-jitsu stuff, and I want to do that. I saw him like get in Aldo's face, and it was like such a show. I'm like, this is cool. I want to do that one day. So I started training jiu-jitsu. I found my coach, stayed with him for a while, you know, and just kind of got on my grind, man. I started when I was about like 14 or 15. I started jiu-jitsu around there, and like I learned very quickly, like, there's competitions almost every weekend. Like, I can go out and test myself anytime I want. Taekwondo, that was never a possibility. There's no like, you can look hard for Taekwondo competitions. They don't exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like it used to be. Jiu-jitsu is such a growing sport, and I just kind of fell in love with that feeling. And it's crazy. Like, the first tournament I ever went to, I remember my coach at the time, I didn't understand what he meant then. He was like, right now, like, you're a ghost. Like, literally no one knows you, no one cares about you. And I was like, okay. It's like, in 4 years, you're going to be, like, talking to everyone in here. I'm like, I don't know what you mean, but okay. And now I get what he means. Like, I show up to the tournament, and there's not anyone that doesn't look at me and say hi or whatever the case might be. So it's cool just to see, like, where I'm at, you know, 4 years ago and where I'm at now. It's pretty crazy, man. It just, I can't even imagine where I'm going to be in 4 years.
Are you still mixing in some kicks and some Taekwondo, some ground and pound? Do you have some aspirations at MMA down the line there?
Yeah. So, like I said, I had a fight book for Cage Titans last November. That fell through. Then I had another one booked for. I was talking to Combat Zone about a matchup. Then I ended up getting one with Cage Titans for the April card. The one that was going to be the first ever like 2-day event, and obviously that got canceled. I was still training up until, you know, when we just couldn't train anymore, and like no one wanted to meet up to train because everyone was scared. But once, like, you know, once people were willing to meet up and stuff, it was all fair game, man. I didn't give a fuck. I was like, I need to be getting better. If people aren't getting better right now, like, that's on them. Like,
exactly,
you know,
exactly.
You have to take matters in your own hands.
Who are some of the guys and girls that you're rolling with now that actually getting you ready for this tournament?
Yeah, man. So, like I said, Placido Santos, literally, like, whatever success I have this weekend, like 99% of it, I attribute to Placido. Like, legit. You know, I obviously I'm going to be the one showing up that day and getting those wins, but all the strategies I'm going to be applying are from Placido. Like, almost 100%.
Now you're heading to Vegas, bro. You talked about, $200 for, you know, each weight class. So that's $400. You're gonna pay your own way there, right? So
yeah.
All right, and you got to kind of pick and choose tournaments to go to. You're spending a little money. I mean, it doesn't cost a fortune to fly right now, especially in Vegas, but it's still a penny out of your pocket. You got to pay for. You got to work. How you managing it, and what's going on to raise some funds to get you there?
Yeah, man, I've had some money saved up for a little bit. Probably past month, I haven't been working, just trying to train full time. I'm living at home with my dad and my sister. My dad's a fucking legend. My sister's a legend. They help me out as much as they can. And, you know, when people ask me, like, who's part of my team, like, it's really, like, my dad, my sister, and, like, you know, whoever's trying to take care of me and you know, the people I'm just trying to put myself around, man. Like, I have the only people I really have been talking to recently are people that are hungry, that, you know, have similar goals to me. It doesn't even have to be jiu-jitsu or fighting, but someone that just on their own kind of fucking grind, trying to make something of their life. And like I said, it's just important to put yourself around people in those situations, you know. A couple of my friends are working on starting businesses right now. Like a friend of mine, Brogan, she just started her business, Balanced by Brogan, up in I believe Nashua, New Hampshire. She's doing like Reiki healing and mobility for fighters, which, I mean, I know a lot of people like Connor Barry, which I'm a good friend with, like, goes up to her, and a few other pro fighters I know of, and she's been helping out like a lot of the New England MMA scene. probably going to be hearing her name a lot more soon. Another kid, Connor Hughes, Pay-Per-View Productions. This kid has literally been like following me to training sessions, filming, just putting stuff together, getting content out for me, for our team, and it's just fucking like, I mean, those are just two of them, but like, Nick Marcello, another kid, he's 6'0" on Instagram. This kid will like make, promo, like little video things for me, and like logo, like just, we're all on our own grind, man, but we all try to help each other as much as we can. And this little crew I have around me right now is just like, I feel like I've just shot up this year and life-wise, you know what I mean?
Well, you've, dude, talking to a lot of fighters in and out of COVID, which we're not out yet, but we're a little out. We can actually go out and breathe, man. But a lot of them, learned positive things coming out of COVID. Damn, dude, you had a busy 2020 so far, man. You started your own show. You had instructional videos on YouTube. Now you're hanging out with the Prodigy there, doing some instructional videos also. Man, let's talk about the growth of you and how it spurted, man. It was just like boom. You talked about the technology with your friends. You got some friends doing filming and stuff like that, but you got your own thing going on with the technology and the show. So talked about how that got all got created this year.
Man, it's so crazy. Like, people ask me why I started the podcast. I legit don't know. Like, I guess just maybe being on YouTube, looking up like video editing, like videos about video editing. And I think a video just came up. Like, I know the exact video that came up was like how to start a podcast with video. And I clicked on it and I was like, this is so easy. I can do this once I get the gear. And I just taught myself how to produce my own show. And here I am doing it. It's so fun. I mean, it's time consuming, but it's worth it. And it's just constant networking. You know this. I mean, you talk to everybody, you know what I mean? You're constantly networking with people that can help you grow and you can help them grow. And it's just a good thing to get going, And
what's great is, you talked about your jiu-jitsu journey and how your coach said, in four years or so, these people are all going to know your name and you're going to meet people and very, inspiring people that can help you with your career and people that you can help with their career. Now you're giving back and they're giving back too, because these people that you're interviewing and getting in touch with, you got Rob Font, you got, Conor Berry, one of your training partners there. That's a legit, UFC guy down the line if he gets a shot. You know what I mean? You got Kim Moore, you got Tom Pags, man. You got some all-star people already on the show, brother. How does that feel? That I mean, you're already there. You got the content, man, and you're actually doing it, bro.
Yeah, man, it's nice. Like I said, like I've had some decent connections in the community for a while, and I think the podcast is only going to grow them. I mean, I've had people on where I've like known on social media for like years. Like I had Jerome Brash, who's the Combat Zone matchmaker, on like a couple days ago. That episode's going up soon, and I met Jerome like once for like 2 seconds at one of their events, but I'll send this kid memes and he'll send me memes all the time and shit like that, but like never really gotten to sit down and get to know him. So just to make that connection with someone, and especially with like a guy like that has a super cool fucking job, it's just fun, man. And you're, like I said, just constantly networking, constantly getting to know new people that hopefully one day you can help and they can help you, and it's good for everybody.
Excellent.
And it's good for the people viewing too, because you could hear something in Don Shana said this on the podcast. We went for like 2 hours and he was saying like someone could literally listen to something on a podcast that can change their life and completely change the way they think, and it's true. Especially that particular podcast, there's been a few episodes where like you sit down talking to someone and you start feeding off their energy and they start feeding off yours, and you guys both just get, like with Don, we legit just like smack match down in my dining room right after and started training because we were both so hyped up. Like, you know what I mean? You just feed off each other's energy like that.
Excellent. And, it helps that you guys are both from New England, and in the community, and you guys are all helping each other. Don's a great guy, man. And, I don't watch too many other podcasts because, I watch Joe Rogan. I'll watch like a sci-fi kind of podcast, but I watch yours because you have, the game. You're in there, and you're friends with all these fighters. So I watch yours because there's a dialogue and there's a vibe in there that you can't get unless you know the person, or at least know of them, or in the same community, because you have things in common to talk about. So like you said, 2 hours turns into, it feels like actually 20 minutes. You're like, after 2 hours, you're like, wow, 2 hours went by already. And to have that gift, to be able to keep a dialogue going and just, ideas bouncing off each other is not easy. And it doesn't come to everyone. I think it's kind of gift to gab.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's definitely been some episodes where I'm like, all right, this conversation's dying. I'm like, call it. But for the most part, it's weird. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't look up a single thing about like communication or like whatever. Like, I literally just set up all the equipment and I was like, all right, I'm ready to start a podcast. Had Connor over. We did the first one. I was like, all right, bro, I don't have a plan. Let's just talk shit and go. And he's like, all right, sounds good. And we did. And that's been the plan ever since. Just talk. And I said from the beginning, I just like to keep it just raw as fuck. And I feel like it's been super raw. People keep telling me like, oh, you can do all this. You can put like a cage in the background, like a drop. I don't need to do shit.
No.
Like, it's working right now. People like it. And it's visually appealing. Like you said, like, people want to go to YouTube and watch it. I knew that the switch of cameras was going to be huge. Eventually what I want to do is like get maybe some more camera angles, have someone in the room helping me.
Yeah.
That would be nice, but we're working on it.
Definitely, my man. Like you said, you have that growth. And you're in that age group that there's people out there that are taking that up in school, communications, that you can get someone there, one of your friends or something that's learning it, and to just press buttons. Like, it's not hard. Like you said, you and I learned by ourselves watching YouTube. I was training with some dude that basically started me off. He goes, he started my YouTube channel for me, put it together. And he said, just go live on your phone and you got a podcast. It's the content that is there. And when you have guests that are interesting, that people know, you got a podcast right there. And like I said, you need to be a host that can talk, and you have it, because you not only do you know the game, but you have the gift of gab, and you're inviting, you can talk to people, so it works. And congratulations, man, on that aspect. So let's get to Saturday, bro. You're flying out to Vegas. Are you going by yourself? Anyone coming with you?
Connor Hughes, pay-per-view Productions. He's coming out to film the whole thing, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, this kid's a legend, man. He's just on his own grind, making all the just going out creating all the content he can. Like, if you get a check him out on Instagram, pay-per-view Production. I'm always plugging in my mind. So, he like I said, he just threw up another little highlight video of me and Jack Stapleton training yesterday. And another shout out to Jack. I'm training with him tomorrow morning. Last finishing touches, like on this little preparation. He's been helping me get ready too. Like I said, man, just good people around me. But yeah, Connor's the one flying out with me.
Excellent. Jack Stapleton doing his own thing. What's he? Is he 115, 125 pound or more? Where is
I don't know. I know he fought at 25, I believe, or 50. I don't know. I forget where he fought, but he had, he's got a 100% finish rate. I don't know. I don't think he's planning on fighting soon. I think he's, same thing as me, waiting till after the ADCC trials and seeing what's up. I know after the trials are going to be probably the last tournament for a while that I have like a schedule I'm following right now of tournaments that I'm going like balls to the wall, just only jiu-jitsu. I have, Vegas this weekend, then I'm flying down to Florida in a month for Pans and the Gi, and then I'm gonna do the ADCC trials in November out in Jersey, and which I'm in Jersey almost every week training. So that drives like, it's barely a trip. But and then after that, it's that's November 7th, November 8th. Then after that, I'm pretty sure what I want to do is fully commit to my MMA training and just get fucking people up, man.
Well, excellent. I mean, by then, Christos, that's when hopefully the regional levels, the regional competition will be back in order. I know we do have other organizations around the country, amateur organizations that are bringing in some of our fighters because we got nothing going on in New England. Like Brett Layton heading out to Florida. We had Pat Jones that went to Florida, and there's a couple other organizations out there. So, so it's jiu-jitsu for a few months here, dedicated to jiu-jitsu, and then you're gonna, mix it up with some MMA in there and try to get yourself a first amateur fight.
Yeah, November 9th is the first day that all my training will be geared towards finishing people in MMA with submissions. I mean, not that I don't want to knock anyone out. But I end up in a grappling exchange with any amateur fighter in New England. The fight's over. I mean, 3 minutes you could say isn't a long time, but if I, like I said, any sort of grappling exchange with any amateur in the area, with the exception of there's not many, man. Tom Pads, honestly. I mean, Tom's really good. I like working with Tom. I've rolled with him a few times, but he's going pro and
yeah.
It's just so unimpressive, man, the jiu-jitsu of these guys. Like, they literally don't fucking train. And I don't understand, like how no one tells them, like, okay, you need to go fucking do jiu-jitsu and take it seriously. Like, any sort of grappling exchange is going to end up with me on the person's back. Look at Jack's fights. You take someone who actually knows jiu-jitsu and you put them in an amateur fight, they're going to sub everyone. I mean, he hit 2 leg locks. Who is hitting leg locks, man? You know what I mean? Who is it's almost easy. And that's my thing is, like, even if I do get a fight, God knows if the person is really going to come through with it, because I have it somewhat of a name in jiu-jitsu around here. Like, people see that and they're like, all right, yeah, he doesn't have fights, but he's pretty experienced in jiu-jitsu. He's going to Pans, he's going to Worlds, going to the ADCC trials. Like, who the fuck is going to want to fight?
Yeah.
The high-level purple belt going all across the country for jiu-jitsu. Like, it's just, that's one of the problems I feel like I'm going to have, but I'll get to it when I cross that bridge. I'm legit down to fight any amateur in the country, never mind New England. If, XFN or someone in Florida wants to give me a fight at like 40, 45, 50, even like 55, if I had enough time to put on a little muscle, I don't care, man. Like, legit, I just want a name, and I'm gonna do my best to go strangle him.
Excellent. As far as this broadcast on Saturday, it says it's streamed. Where will it be streamed? Is it streamed on their website? Tell us about that.
Yeah, they're. I think they're giving us a link in the next couple days that I'll be able to post. I have a link to my link tree in my Instagram bio. So I'm just going to add it to my link tree, and you'll be like, if you click on my Instagram bio, it'll be right there, and it'll say, like, watch Vegas tournament or whatever I put. You click that link and it should pop right up.
Awesome. I have your Instagram handle right here under your name. So if anyone needs that, it's right there. You're not hard to find, brother. I mean, you're rolling all over the place. Highlight films everywhere. The dude that is doing the recording and making the videos for you, does he have a Facebook page also that we can go check out this video?
He does, and he has Instagram though. It's Pay-Per-View Productions.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, like he did like a compilation for the Good Fight tournament, like we did. Yeah, I mean, that's another perfect example, man. Like of how Johnny's fucking dirty. His grappling fucking dirty, man. Like, we throw gloves on, it's not going to be the same game.
Yeah.
But it's just like MMA guys not doing enough MMA. We fought again, and he did like an all right job of keeping his legs away from me, but the strategy was the same. Like, just attack the legs. And like 3.5 minutes in, I caught his leg and caught the heel hook. But it was like, really, I knew it. As soon as I had the position, I hit my entry. It was a matter of time before I found the heel. Same thing with the other kid I fought for South Shore. I forget his name now, but same thing. Like, as soon as I hit my entry, I'm like, he has no idea what I'm doing right now. He has no idea how to defend this. And that's just how I feel. Like, if I can do that to someone like Johnny, why can't I do that to an amateur fighter with like 2-3 fights.
Exactly. When, especially when you get him in that same position. Johnny's got a world of experience, and you
Who
went
did you
through
say he fought in the jiu-jitsu match he did?
Richie Santiago in the no-gi. It was an intermission fight at a Cage Titans fight.
Man, you know what? All right,
go ahead.
Beans, so I know Combat Zone does the jiu-jitsu fights.
Yeah.
If Cage Titans did, I would love to have, like, I've been saying this forever. I want to have like a bet match with like some local pros, man. We each put up like $500 a piece or $1,000 a piece, and we just fucking go to war and sub only, winner takes all, whatever rule set. Like, I literally don't care. Whatever rule set they want, I'll do. But I've been dying to do a bet match with someone for like the past year and a half, and I just feel like I just haven't asked for it enough. But I would love to do a bet match.
Excellent, man. Well, we'll have to promote that and throw it out the promotions once we get going. Dude, last thing I want to ask you about this tournament. Just explain to people out there that might not know. It's Ebi Rules. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so EBI, for those who don't know, is an Eddie Bravo Invitational. So Eddie Bravo, hosted his own event, and he created these rules. Basically, it's traditional EBI is, I believe, 10 minutes, but this one's going to be 7-minute round, submission only. There's no points whatsoever, so you can fucking be killing the person for 7 minutes. Time goes, it's like nothing happened. They might be tired, but it's sub only, so no points whatsoever. Overtime, you can start either with backpack and a seatbelt grip, or with a very solid starting position on an armbar, and it's submit or escape. So it works like a shootout in soccer and hockey. Like, say I'm on your back and I submit you, you have to submit me when you get on my back. If I submit you and then you get on mine and then I escape, I win, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I escape and submit you, and then I believe it goes like 3 rounds, and if there's no winner by then, it goes by something called ride time, which is like how long you held a position on the person, and they add up the 3 rounds. I believe is how it works. So you can win submission or regulation, submission or overtime. With like, you can get subbed, then sub them, and then
exactly. Still be in it. Yeah. Do you think,
or ride time? Yeah.
Do you think you'll be heading into some of them ride times? Do you think you're going to go in there and do? How do you think you're going to do in this tournament, buddy? I mean, now listen. I know they have they're popular on Instagram. Can you check out some of their competition? Do you know anyone else is going to?
This is their first event.
Oh, okay.
This is their first event, which is awesome. But there are some pretty big names in this tournament, man. Like, I know a bunch of like Eddie Bravos, brown and black belts are going. PJ Barch. I don't know if you know who he is.
Names, yeah.
A black belt. He's in the 175-pound bracket, the 155-pound bracket. Robert Degel, one of John Donaher's brown belts, he's in there. Keith Krikorian, another 10th planet guy who fought at 80. He fought Bushesha at 80cc last year, and just, I mean, they fucked him over. And they gave Bushesha in the first round. Insane. But like, he's an 80cc vet, so there's some pretty decent people in the bracket, but I've beaten people that I shouldn't have beaten before, and it's just a matter of showing up, and I usually always fucking show up. So it's going to be interesting to see how I do with guys with this kind of name.
Awesome, my man. Well, we're going to be excited to check this out, man. Representing New England, man. Our own BJJ prodigy, killing people out there. Last thing before I let you go, brother, you got sponsors and stuff like that, and I know you're selling shirts for your show, and just bringing in money, because you got a bunch of competitions that you still got to get to and still got to make money for. So, man, shout everything out you want to shout out there, especially friends, family, training partners, and your sponsors. Throw it out there, my friend.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So, number one, of course, my family. Like I said, my dad and my sister, number one. That's basically like my team. And of course, my friends and their businesses that they have, Balanced by Brogan, helping me out with mobility and healing, and just like literally every session I work with her, I just feel 10 times looser after. Even if you don't train, I recommend hitting her up and trying to get a session. You can find her on Instagram, Pay-Per-View Productions, Connor Hughes. So you can find him on it. All these people you can find on Instagram. But yeah, man, Placido Santos, like I said, basically been my no-gi coach, helping me get ready for this tournament. There's so many people I can thank. Renzo Gracie, it's Kevin Landry. I'm still pretty new there, man. It's been like two and a half months since I've been there, and he's welcomed me with open arms and has been putting in a lot of effort into me. So I appreciate it. I want to thank everyone in down in New Jersey, Ocean County, BJJ, Tom DeBlas. I've been trying to get work. Okay, you will never believe what this guy's doing. He's pushing
someone in front of you. Can you show us live? Can you show us live? Turn that around.
This guy just pushed a cart and jumped in the cart.
Oh, in a shopping cart? What's it, Jackass shit going on out there?
Something. Yeah. He got in for like 2 seconds. I think he chickened out. Anyway, yeah, fucking wild people. I never asked you.
What?
I heard you almost died. What happened?
What, Saturday night? Oh, when the truck tried to run me over?
What happened? What is it?
That's a long story, but let's just say a pussy called me out. I called him to come fight me here. He pulled up, wouldn't get out of the truck, and then he tried to run me over with it. And then he took off. How's that sound for a fucking for a show? All on film, too, brother. All on film. I love it. No one would have ever believed it unless it was on film. I can bring out the worst in anyone. And the funny thing about it, Christos, it's Facebook. People get all upset about Facebook. It's Facebook.
I think it's so funny when people try to call you out because you're like, oh, you can't say it. It's like, why the fuck do you follow me?
Exactly.
Why do you
if you got a problem with me or you don't like me talking to your people, don't watch. You know what I mean? If you don't like me, unfriend me. But I see you watching. Just like if you have people that, a competition with you don't get along with, they're watching you, man, because they want to see what you're doing. So.
It's so funny. Like, I'll have legit 300-400 views on my Instagram stories, 1,000 views on a post, and it'll get 100 likes. And I was like, there's so many.
Exactly. And then you look at.
You love what I'm doing.
Yes, exactly. You may not be liking it, but you're loving it. That's for sure. And here's another thing. If you have your Facebook stories, there's other ones that aren't your friends. You could see 5 or 6 other people showing up that you can't see who they are, but they're trolls.
Right. I don't use Facebook too much. I mean, I love Instagram. I'm on Instagram legit 10 hours a day. When I'm not doing jiu-jitsu, I'm on Instagram.
Well, no, I mean that's a big platform for what you're doing. So,
yeah, that's the thing, man. Legit, so many people. I say it all the time. I say it every other podcast. I know so many people that are 3-4 times as good as me that could just kill me, and have 2 posts on their Instagram. I'm like, oh my fucking God. Isn't the idea to make money?
Yeah, get in the game, dude. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of fighters out there MMA, UFC, that if they open their mouth a little more and sold themselves, they probably get better, higher up and better fights, I think. Just, you got to market yourself. If you have it in you, if you're that good, you need to market yourself, man.
Yes, and that's what's going to open up those this opportunity for Vegas. Legit, I hit them up on Instagram, and I was like, "Hey, here's my page. Let me know if you want me to come through." And they like my page, and that was basically my resume with my Instagram page.
Exactly.
And and that was it. And they were like, "Yeah, man, you're good. Let's do this." And that was it. I told them where I train and what the deal is, and that's it. But same thing with fights. If I want to go fight someone down in Florida or Texas or wherever it might be, I'm gonna be I'm probably gonna hit them up through Instagram because that's the biggest thing I have to show for what I do or what I do in my area. The audience I can bring to an event like that. How many people I'm gonna have streaming that Vegas thing?
Yeah,
probably 50 to 100 people.
Yeah.
Solely for me. Now you have other people like me and a bigger name than me also bringing 100, 200 people into that stream. Don't be surprised if you see more than 1,000 people in that stream.
Oh, yeah.
This event's gonna be really fucking fire. I have a good feeling about it.
I'll be sharing it everywhere for sure, on our group pages, on our business pages, all my stuff. Last thing, my friend, throw all your social media out there so we can get that link. If anyone is looking for it, I mean, you can find it on Christos' page. You got a business page we'll shout out, but you can get it also on our page. We'll be sharing whatever he shares. So shout it out there, buddy.
Awesome. I'll send it to you directly
All
too.
right.
So you can just put it up. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'll have it in my Instagram bios, my link tree. You go ahead and click that, and it should be up there the next few days. If it's not, you'll have like all the platforms you can listen to the podcast on, but it'll be right at the bottom. It'll say like like Vegas matches live or something like that. Whatever I go ahead and put, and then I'll share it on Facebook on my page and on my personal page as well. I don't have too many people on my personal page, but on my athlete page, I'll definitely have that up.
Excellent. And if anyone wants to watch some of his footage that was just put together with Mr. Stapleton, it is on his Instagram, which the tag is right there. Go check it out. Last thing, my man, send us home, man. Throw, what's going on this weekend? What do we expect to see from you coming out and representing in Vegas? The youngest and the most, should I say the most inexperienced fighter? I don't know. How do I just say
inexperienced at this level?
All right.
This is a whole new level of guys. I'm used to beating people up in New England. Like it's just, I've been doing it for like 2 years. Not that it's getting old. I love winning. It just I'm tired of showing up to a tournament and just fighting like two bums and taking gold. Like this is. I'm not getting better. I mean, I'm getting better, but like I could be getting a lot better. Going out and fighting people like, brown and black belts under Eddie Bravo, under John Danaher, under guys like that. It's different, man. People that fought at ADCC have done the trials multiple times. It's a totally different level. Like these people center their whole lives around jiu-jitsu, just like me. And I don't get to experience that a lot. So it's going to be nice to be in a bracket full of people like that, man. And I'm sure there'll be like one or two kids in there. They have like their two guys that I'm sure they'll put on opposite ends, Robert Daigle and Keith Krikorian. And I'm just there to play spoiler and fucking win some money, man, and show people that, I can hang at that level and do well.
Awesome, my man. Well, dude, it's a pleasure having you come on. Representing this weekend in a huge tournament, taking on some big boys, some big name schools out there, and some future stars, bro. So appreciate it, Christos, man. We'll be watching Saturday night. We'll be throwing out that link, and we'll be watching you get your hand raised, and hopefully you're bringing back some big time monies for your future funds.
Absolutely. You guys have like New England MMA shirts or the Room Podcast shirts?
Yeah, they're all over our website. I mean, go on there. I mean, well, I was gonna give one of your shirts away, but I'm just gonna buy it myself and wear it. Fuck you, people. But Christos, we got some shirts. I'll send you one.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, it'll be. I'll make sure it's shipped to you. You'll have it when you get back home from the tournament. What size you wearing?
Probably like a medium, yeah.
Right. You want the guns to show. I understand. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be a problem once I bump up to 55. It'll be a problem.
Hey, man,
I
saw a couple of your Instagram pictures. Were you in like a weightlifter at one? Or were you in like a body, what do they call it? Were you a weightlifter or was that someone else? I thought I saw you posing on stage with muscles coming out of your ears.
Nah, that was my dad back in the day.
Oh, it was your dad?
Yes, that's my dad with hair, like way back in the day, and that's a crazy story, man. He got in a motorcycle accident and just split the frame of the bike in half and went flying, and he broke his foot, and basically was told like, all right, you're never gonna walk like 5 minutes without having to sit down and take a break, man. Like your foot's fucked.
Yeah,
and it was just motivation for him to go out and just become a tank. And man, like if that picture, I don't know if you can go find it, but like he's like 170, 175, absolutely shredded. Well, and he just had like, even now he just got that raw strength. Like we'll go to the gym and he'll just be fucking,
it's the genes. It's the Greek. It's the Greek genes, man. It's the genes.
That's it.
right, my man.
You know what? We're gonna bring the UFC to Greece one day, man. Don't worry.
Awesome, my man. It's beautiful there. I'm sure they'll love to go there. So,
Right.
my friend, thanks so much, man. You have a safe trip, bro, and we'll be watching you Saturday. When's the competition actually start?
Saturday. I don't know if they're streaming the weigh-ins. Even if they are, don't watch the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
They're fucking boring.
Yeah.
But the weigh-ins are at 9, and then the event is supposed to start at 2. I'm pretty sure they're going to be pretty on point about it. But I'm going to have the link out hopefully from Thursday or what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday, so hopefully tomorrow or Friday I'll have it out. And I'm flying out Friday, so if anyone has any questions on how to stream it or get some gear for the podcast, hit me up. My DM is on Instagram. It's probably the best way to reach me. But yeah, man, I appreciate you having me, giving this platform to spread my message and let more people know about this event.
Awesome, my man. Well, appreciate it. Again, my friend, have a safe trip. And we're going to say bye to these folks. So anyway, check them out on Saturday night, fighting in Vegas, taking on huge people. My friend Christos here. Podcast. This is the new era right here. This kids like this is the new generation of, they're doing it all. So Christos, thank you so much, man. Don't take off because I want to talk to you a couple of minutes before I end this conversation, but we out of here. We'll see you next Wednesday. I'll let you know who will be on. Maybe Christos talking about winning $4,000 or so. We'll be out.
Thanks.
Later.